Hi everyone, it's Tish with Naptime Creations. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these beautiful Raspberry Crush agate slice coasters. So let's get started. So the first layer, I'm going to be using this Flow Art resin from the Epoxy Resin store. It's a 1-to-1 ratio and it was a new resin to me. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that later in the video, but I just had these little bottles that I had got, and I went ahead and used all of my part B. That was what I was pouring in first, and that ended up being 6.5 ounces. And since it's a 1-to-1 ratio, I poured in the rest, which was my part A, and that was 6.5 ounces as well. And I like to weigh my resin out on a digital scale because that way, there's no room for error and you get your measurements right on the nose. So then I just went in and stirred that up for 5 minutes, and you'll know when it's done because can you see those strings? It looks kind of milky. Once those are gone, you'll know that it's all mixed up. To color my resin, I'm going to be using the Artisan pigments in Amethyst, Titanium, and Shiraz. And I wanted to show you guys how much mica powder I put into my cups here. These are just little 3-ounce cups. I'm also going to be using a little bit of the Supernova Glitz and Glam pigment by Resin Expressions. So usually with resin and colorants, there's a 10% rule. You want to use 10% of your epoxy paste or your ink or your resin tints to your resin, so 10%. But with mica powders, that really doesn't apply. I've noticed with mica powders, if I use a little bit more than the 10% rule, it doesn't mess anything up and it just gives you a little bit more pigmentation and shine because mica powders are very shimmery. I've also noticed with this type of coaster, if you use opaque colors, the opaque colors like to take over, and they really end up dominating these coasters, at least for me anyway. So I like to use mica powders or something that's pretty transparent predominantly, or a little tiny bit of something that's opaque. So I just wanted to show you how I mixed up my titanium there. Really simple and easy, just kind of fold it in from the bottom and just give it a good stir. This is sped up to twice speed, so it really looks like I'm whipping that resin, but I'm not stirring that fast. So since I put my pigments in first, I just kind of pull up from the bottom and then bring it in towards the top just to get it nice and mixed. So these are my molds. These are my agate slice molds. I got these from Just For You Online UK. Catherine at Dryer Days Art Studio is the US distributor or stockiest or stalker of Just For You Online UK products. So if you're in the US, definitely check out her website. I will link it down below in the description if you want to get some of these molds. These molds are awesome. I'm also going to be using some of the chunky fairy cake glitter by Just For You Online UK, and this glitter, you guys, is just gorgeous. It's a really, really pretty glitter. I've been dying to try it out, and finally I got to. So you could see I just put a little bit of clear in and sprinkled in some of that chunky fairy cake glitter right on the top. And I'm going to be doing kind of like a dirty pour with my resin in each of these coasters. I just grabbed another little 3-ounce cup here and I'm just alternating my colors. I did some Shiraz, titanium, and then some of that amethyst. And I'm just going to pour it in just like that. And I'm going to do that for each one of the coasters. And with these coasters, I have found that it's best to do them in 2 layers. So what I'll do is I'll pour these, and I'm not filling them up all the way to the rim. I'm putting about 3 ounces of resin in each coaster, and that way there will be some room left for me to do my clear top coat. Because with these coasters, you never really know what the bottom is going to look like. I mean, you can kind of guess and have an idea, but you honestly can't. Resin has a mind of its own. It's going to do what it wants to do. So I like to do it this way in layers. So what most people would use as the bottom, I call the top, which is what you're seeing right now. And that way I have a little bit of control as to what it's going to look like, at least on one side. And then, you know, if you end up demolding them and the other side looks better, then use that side as the top. But I like to pour them in layers just because sometimes with glitter it can float, and it can kind of leave a texture on the top of the coaster, and then you have to do a top coat. So it's easier for me. What I found is a good way is just to not fill the molds up all the way and anticipate doing a top coat no matter what. And then basically you just leave your coasters in the molds and then pour clear on top the next day and fill them to the top. And these molds are big, you guys. They hold, I would say, anywhere to 4.5 to 5 ounces of resin each. So they're really nice, big coasters when you demold them. I mean, I have a jumbo coffee cup and they look really nice with that coffee cup sitting on top. That was the picture I showed at the start of the video. So I'm going in with my heat gun here just to pop any bubbles, and I am going to let these guys set up for 24 hours. Oh, and I forgot, I'm sprinkling on some Shooting Star glitter by Mango Tango Twisted Glitter. I will link their channel down below. They have some really pretty glitters, and I didn't anticipate putting this much glitter, but it just kind of came out of the bag, so I was like, oh geez, so I just went with it and put a bunch on each of the coasters in the middle. So this is 24 hours later. I'm going in with some gold Posca pen, and I am just outlining the center glitter area that I added, kind of giving it a geode vibe. And you can totally draw on resin with these pens. And then after your Posca pen is dry, you can add your clear top coat. So what I did is I just went in with this, outlined it, let it dry for about 30 minutes, and then I went back in and did a second layer of the Posca pen. So here we are. It's about 6 hours after I did my Posca pen. I'm going to go in with my Liquid Diamonds casting resin and do the final clear top coat on these coasters. So I'm measuring out 6 ounces of resin. So what the Liquid Diamonds is a 2-to-1. So what I'm doing right now is pouring in my part B. That was 2 ounces. And then I'm going to pour in my part A. And that's going to be 4 ounces because it's 2 parts A to 1 part B. So once I have that all measured out, I'm going to go in and mix that up for 5 minutes. And with this one, you can see how thin it is. It's very, very, very thin. And see, you can still see the little stringy lines in this one. And once those are all totally gone, then you'll know it's all nice and mixed. It'll look like this. So what I'm going to do is cover this up with a piece of wax paper so no dust or debris get in there, and let it sit for 30 minutes. And that's going to pop all of the bubbles that I made while mixing. Now check it out. It's 30 minutes later, and look, there's not a single bubble in there. This resin, you guys, is so crystal clear, and it has like 0 bubbles. It's awesome resin for this type of application, like for doing a clear coat on these coasters. See, and then I just fill it up to the rim with the clear, and it really, really brings that glitter back to life and makes the other colors below it more, makes them pop more, I feel, and it gives it some depth when you add that clear layer on top. So like I said, I didn't take these out of the mold at all. I just left them in the mold and then did these in 2 different days. I have tried taking the coaster, the first pour out of the mold and then putting it back in, and that doesn't really work because the airtight seal gets broken, and when you pour your clear layer on, it'll leak down underneath and create problems with your coaster being level. So I covered them up for 24 hours, and now we're ready to demold them. I always keep my stuff dust and debris free with upside down Rubbermaid storage containers. So I just covered these up off camera. I just wanted to let everybody know that. That's the easiest way I found to keep my stuff dust and debris free. But I think it's so cool with that layer of clear on there. And I really like the the underside of these two. So I don't know which side I'm going to call the top and which side I'm going to call the bottom, because that fairy cake glitter is just gorgeous. And I didn't intend on having that much of the shooting star in the center. I should have taken like a spoon or something small, maybe a popsicle stick, and just kind of sprinkled it on there. But it is what it is. I could have gone in and mixed it in a little bit, but I was kind of going for like a geode agate slice look, so I think it ended up working out in the end, and that glitter is really, really pretty too. That's the Shooting Star glitter by Mango Tango Twisted Glitter. So I'll link all the materials that I used down below in the description box if you guys want to check any of these products out, the molds and everything. And to finish the coasters, all I do is put 4 of these little clear bumpers on. I got these on Amazon, so I will link those down below as well. And here's a little close-up of them. I think they're really pretty. Those colors are just really nice together, and that clear layer I was trying to show you guys just really adds some nice depth. I still don't know which side I want to have as the top and which side I want to have as the bottom, because I kind of like both sides for their own reasons. The back side has a lot of fun texture. It looks really textured in the resin layer. It's kind of got some like bumps and stuff going on that give it a really cool look, I think. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments, which side do you like? We'll call the top side with the Posca pen side A, and then the other side with the Fairy Cake glitter side B. Let me know which one you guys think is better. I like on this one how you can see the clear on the edge there. Gives it a really fun look. Each one, it turns out different, you know, than the other one, so it makes a really nice set. And if any of you guys want to buy these coasters, let me know. They are available for sale. 2020, I'm going to focus a lot on making coasters, and I'm also going to be starting to make resin shaker charms, the filled shaker charms. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you all so much. If you liked it, go ahead and leave me a like, or go check out a few more of my other videos, or even a playlist. Thanks again for watching. I will see you guys on Friday for another video. Bye!